move outside our efficiently serve the needs of our neighbors. Join us now as we explore the path to inspire and advance each day. Here's your host and co-founder of Advancing Vibrant Communities, Mike Douglas, and the chairman of the board of Advancing Vibrant Communities, Dr. Robert Chin.
Robert, you've been part of the Advancing Vibrant Communities board and as a chair for 12 years or more. What originally attracted you to Advancing Vibrant Communities?
Well, to tell you the truth, Mike, the first thing that attracted me was the fact that you were heading it up. I've known you for many years as one of our pastors at Big Valley. I knew your heart, your desire to live out your faith in very practical ways. And so the fact that you were involved in it helped me to really want to see more about what it was about. And after I've gotten to see the work of Advancing Vibrant Communities and to understand that it was a very practical way to express our faith and our compassion in the community, that resonated well with me.
What have you seen in terms of the impact upon the community? I mean, you've been out as the head of the medical team and such. What do you see happening in the community as a result of this serving effort?
Well, whenever we've done our medical clinics, for example, I am impressed with the clientele, the people that come see us. I had some fears initially whether they would just simply be taking advantage of our services, but it doesn't turn out that way. People that we end up serving are very appreciative, and they express it in many ways to us, and that in itself becomes very rewarding. So I think what we do when we're out there loving our neighbors in tangible ways, I think we're creating a lot of goodwill in the community. I think people respond to genuine concerns for them from other people. They respond to people who genuinely want to love and serve them. And that seems to help promote not only their own sense of esteem and a sense of belonging to a community, but by their appreciation and by their responses to us.
That's an interesting concept that you bring up. Let's talk about the benefit both to the volunteer and to the person being served. What benefits do you see for both?
Well, I like to think that our service is definitely, when we're out there, whether it's part of a medical team or in any other ways that we might be serving someone, we're hoping that what we are doing genuinely increases the quality of their lives. But there's no doubt in my mind that it benefits those of us who are doing the serving. I think it's a humbling feeling. I think the ability to be able to reach out and touch another person, and oftentimes these are people that we normally would not run around with in our social circles, but to have a sense of solidarity, to recognize that a lot of their desires, a lot of their own personal goals, no matter what their economic station or no matter what their place in society, is really not that much different than mine. I see how the best for their families. I see how they want to improve their lives. I see how they desire to have a positive impact on the community. So when we join hearts with them in our service to them, but also in their appreciation to us, I think that helps to build both of our appreciation for each other.
Robert, let's talk a bit about your experiences leading the volunteer. Stories that come to your mind in terms of people where you may have discovered something they were totally unaware of and needed to know about their health condition?
Well, first of all, let me talk about some of the stories that I've experienced with the volunteers. So when doing this, I involved some of the people in my office, the medical assistants and some of the other physicians who had heard that I was doing this and wanted to get involved. But just by word of mouth, this ministry was taking place, and pretty soon I was getting calls from a retired physician. I got a call from is not so much involved in primary care, but these were other nurses or physicians or even lay people that had no medical experience that just wanted to become involved because it was going to be much more rewarding to them than what they were doing. And indeed, that's turned out to be the case. The retired physician says that being involved in this way has just changed his retirement. He really has found this way and loves doing it. He calls me when he hasn't heard from me in a while and says, when are you doing your next clinic? I want to get involved with that again. So we've had a lot of enthusiasm from the volunteers who have found this to be indeed very rewarding. The patient side of it, some of the places we go to are frequented by homeless people or people that don't have any see a doctor or seek or pursue medical care. And for them, coming to see us on a quarterly basis, we end up serving as their primary caregiver. So they have it on their schedule on a regular basis to make sure that they come in to see us so that they can reconsult with what we recommend for their own health care. So we've seen how many people have come to even kind of rely on the medical clinic. They look to us to be to serve them in primary care, and that gives us
uses to help volunteers accomplish the to love our neighbors. We rely upon contributions from friends like you to serve our communities on a daily basis. Will you partner with us in our mission? Please consider a tax-deductible donation to help fund the future of vibrant communities and our neighbors who live in them. And if you are someone with a passion, advancing vibrant communities needs you. We research individual and community needs and then connect individuals like you, as well as congregations and organizations with opportunities to meet those needs right here in the Central Valley. Please visit vibrantcommunities.org. List of ways to serve. Perhaps you have household items to help single moms and dads, or people coming out of homelessness, or maybe you have construction skills to install safety equipment to prevent fatal falls for the elderly and disabled. If you're willing to serve others, we would love to connect you for opportunities that fit your passions and skills. To learn more or to make a tax-deductible donation, please go to .org. That's vibrantcommunities.org.
Robert Chin is our guest. He's a retired physician in the Modesto area, and for over 12 years has served as the chairman of the board of communities. And some of these, can we call them underserved populations? Maybe, I don't know if that's the best descriptor or not. But for those folks, why is there a reluctance sometimes, do you think, to seek medical care? Is it geographical? Is it perceptions? What do you see that may feed into that?
Yeah, I think it's several reasons. So having access to travel to a medical clinic is problematic for somebody who may have no ability to navigate through public transportation or have any sort of a vehicle on his own, or maybe have some physical ailment that really prevents them from being able to travel much at all. But even when some of these underserved population is able to get to a clinic, they may have a difficult time actually being seen or be seen at an appointment. They may end up having to wait for hours before they're seen, and then they're seen very quickly because of such a big line of people to be seen. And feel that they're not getting the kind of care that they would like to be able to get. And then to getting their medications at the pharmacy, having the finances to medications, knowing what to do if they would have side effects. All of these become sometimes very difficult for people that don't have a lot of means or ability to be able to navigate medical systems such as ours.
Seen in terms of the benefits of collaboration, even as you go out and these clinics, if I'm not mistaken, all of that involves collaboration with the community and other community agencies as well.
Yeah, you bet. Most of us don't have just one issue in life, and if that one issue is resolved, our lives would be perfect. Most of us have multiple issues, and it's even compounded among people that don't get regular help, and so we frequently have to call on community agencies to join in with us. So, for example, at the King Kennedy Center, when we have our clinics, oftentimes there are other help agencies. There's Medicare, Medicaid that helps patients to sign up for Medi-Cal or Medicare. Sometimes we'll have a dental and eye clinic at the same time, so that not only are their physical needs being treated through a doctor, but also eye care, that's done. We've had a veterinarian come with us on one of these clinics where he's a lot of these homeless people. We've had occasions where we had people come and do haircuts. So it's really a multifaceted approach, and I think that's what we need to do when we think about treating, our community. We need to provide as much collaborative services. We'll make referrals to one another in order to make sure that these people get the care that they need.
That element of the veterinarian, I would imagine, is very important because a lot of homeless people, and can you expand on that a little bit, some of the services that the veterinarian provides?
You're absolutely right about a lot of the homeless having dogs, and that is because sometimes for some of these homeless people, that is their social connection. That is the one contact that allows them to give and to receive love, which we all need. And so they love their pets, many times even when they have the ability to go into a shelter, but the shelter doesn't take animals, they will refuse the shelter so that they can stay with their animal. But yes, animals, dogs, cats, and pets need medical attention as well. They need vaccines, nutrition. They oftentimes will need deworming type medications, and just like their pet owners, sometimes they have no access to that in the homeless community. So the veterinarian was actually very popular, more popular than the doctor.
Let's talk about an obvious topic. For the past year and a half, 2 years, there's been this little diversion called COVID-19 and its variants. How has Advancing Vibrant Communities dealt with that? Handling volunteers, keeping them safe, and then keeping the people safe.
Yeah, well, I think you're very cognizant of safety, Mike, in all aspects. Not only protecting the volunteers from having any violence, but also protecting the volunteers themselves from appropriate engagements with the client. One of that means that we respect the fact that we need these days, distancing, wearing a mask in order to not allow this coronavirus to spread. So you've established definite guidelines for volunteers on how they should stay socially distanced when they come involved with people in the community. So I think your awareness of that and your value of keeping people safe, both and the community, I think it's laudable, and respecting this pandemic, I think is still very.
The mission of Advancing Vibrant Communities is to help volunteers to love our neighbors as ourselves. We rely upon contributions from friends like you to serve our communities on a daily basis. Will you partner with us in our mission? Please consider a tax-deductible donation to help the future of vibrant communities and our neighbors who live in them. And if you are someone with a passion to help others, Advancing Vibrant Communities needs you. We research individual and community needs and then connect individuals like you as well as congregations with opportunities to meet those needs right here in the Central Valley. Please visit vibrantcommunities.org to see a daily list of ways to serve. Perhaps you have household items to help single moms and dads, or people coming out of homelessness, or maybe skills to install safety equipment to prevent fatal falls for the elderly and disabled. If you're willing to serve others, we would love to connect you for opportunities that fit your passions and skills. To make a tax-deductible donation, please go to vibrantcommunities.org. That's vibrantcommunities.org.
Robert Chin is our guest. He's a retired physician in the Modesto area and as the chairman of the board of Advancing Vibrant Communities. For many years, in the early days of Advancing Vibrant Communities, people would say, I've never heard of you. And as we progressed, we'd see, I've heard that, but I'm not sure what it's about. Some 20 years later, how do you see ABC in the community, and how do you see people learning about this particular service, particular ministry, and recognizing its objectives and how to get connected with all of that?
Biggest way I think that people are connected is by word of mouth. I think people who have received some help through ABC lets their neighbors know when a need arises in that community. So I think that's how ABC has been known in the community by people who have needed the services or needed help, and ABC has responded to that. One of the reasons you mentioned, ABC has not been particularly widely heard of in the community is, I think, due to a purposeful engagement on the part of ABC to not necessarily have its name out there. That's not our purpose. Our purpose and our goal is not to make a big name for ourselves, right? Our purpose and our goal is to what we think will bring a vibrant community to Modesto. And if we're focused on doing that, we're going to be focusing on trying to identify needs, meet needs, serve. We're not going to be putting in a lot of time and effort and money and advertising ourselves. And I think that's one of the reasons why we may not have been as well known as we're. But I think among the community that needs to have needs met, word has spread, call upon ABC, and they will come through for you.
The network, even amongst social services providers, they know and get a lot of calls, and also those who are working with hospitals to get people home who may have or knee replacements and they need some adaptive hardware or installations to function when they get home. And talk about the importance of that, where ABC is in the background, not worrying about who gets the credit, but they're making some differences in lives and really preventing some potential.
Yeah. I suppose if we were to change tactics and we said, let's make ABC as known and popular and respected and honored as possible in the community, and we start advertising mission is to serve the community, then there is lack of need for us to serve. And those needs come in, and we have needs that we are trying to meet literally every day of the year. And so, therefore, if we are focused on accomplishing our mission, I think we are doing, and those people that know what we are doing and make referrals for us to meet these needs is an example of how we're able to fulfill our mission. And that's what ABC is about. It's about fulfilling that mission. It's not about building our name.
Dr. Chen, as we wrap up, what would you like to say as the of the board to, and ABC has a very minimal staff. At any given time, there are maybe 2 or 3 staff members, 2 full-time, maybe 1 part, and to the volunteers. From your heart as chairman of the board, what would you like to say to the staff and volunteers?
Well, certainly, I think that what ABC does and what ABC represents is, I would say, essential. I think it is imperative and incumbent upon all of us to learn how to live not just for ourselves. We need to have a heart for community matters, other people matter. And we need help to do that because we are not naturally inclined to just be unselfish. Frankly, I am more inclined to be selfish than unselfish. I know that that isn't the kind of person I want to be. And to help me more engage with other people and to relate to them and to identify with them means that I have to be involved with them. And sometimes it means that I have to be involved with people that are not in my general social circle just because of where I live or because of what I do. But yet, to be able to recognize that every creation of God that is worthy of love and respect and dignity, and to put myself in a position to express that and to constantly be thinking that way. I think that's where ABC comes in. ABC helps me do that. And the people that have volunteered and people who are on staff at ABC, I think are doing so because they are thinking in some way the same as I am about being involved in other people's lives and about the positivity of that and the rewards of that, but also of the essentialness of our lives.
Serving our neighbors in the Central Valley, we at Advancing Vibrant Communities, Christ has called us to love each other in meaningful ways, to care for the spiritual, emotional, and physical. Will you partner with us in our mission? Please consider a tax-deductible donation to help fund the future of vibrant communities and our neighbors who live in them. And if you are someone with a passion to help others, Advancing Vibrant Communities needs you. We research individual and community needs and then connect individuals like you, as well as congregations and organizations with opportunities to meet those needs right here in the Central Valley. Please visit vibrantcommunities.org to see a daily list of ways to serve. Perhaps you have household items to help single moms and dads, or people coming out of homelessness, or maybe you have construction skills to install safe fatal falls for the elderly and disabled. If you're willing to serve others, we would love to connect you for your passions and skills. To learn more or to make a tax-deductible donation, please go to vibrantcommunities.org. That's vibrantcommunities.org. AVC is a California nonprofit corporation with IRS 501c3 status. Donations are tax-deductible to the extent allowed by law. Federal ID number 710891856. We're on mission with a donation today. Learn more at vibrantcommunities.org. That's vibrantcommunities.org.